Hello friends, welcome to today's daily devotion. I'm Kerry Wood, pastor of the Goldston Methodist Church in Goldston, North Carolina, and we are continuing in this last week of examining Paul's letter to the church in Colossae. Yesterday we learned the surprising fact that Paul wrote this letter from prison, and he prayed for the mystery of the gospel to be expressed in whatever forms it could be. Today we're looking at the next two verses 5 and 6 out of chapter 4, where Paul continues to express how he hopes this mystery will be revealed. Hear now these words. Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. I talked yesterday about how I was convicted about not letting my circumstances dictate my experience of the gospel. Well, this is another big domino for me. This domino is telling me something that pulls me out of my comfort zone. It also pulls me out of myself, out of my sinful self. You can remember a while back we talked about one of the most important things for Paul in this letter was how we needed to get rid of our old selves and put on the new of Christ living in us. Die to self, live for Christ. And here in verses 5 and 6 of chapter 4, Paul gets very, very real for me. Be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. In other words, get out of yourself and pay attention to those around you. Why is this pulling me out of my comfort zone? Because I'm an introvert. If I have a choice of what I want to do, I would love to go into a room by myself, retreat, pick up a nice, wonderful novel and maybe a cup of coffee and enjoy immersing myself in another world entirely. But when I do that, that means that I have forgotten this world completely. And so Paul says, be wise in the way you act towards outsiders. That means I can't retreat to my own inside self. Let your conversation always be full of grace, seasoned with salt. I think what Paul means by that is not that I need to be carrying a salt shaker around everywhere I go and putting it on people. That would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? No, it means that I need to really pay attention to others and listen to them. Did you know that that seems to be the number one cause of loneliness and depression in this world? People don't feel listened to. It's really ironic given the proliferation of social media and how we can instantly share ourselves to anybody and everybody on the internet with no filters except the algorithms of those social media platforms. But here's the weird thing. All of us talking means none of us listening. Paul suggests maybe we ought to focus on the listening. Maybe if Jesus is living in me so that I am paying attention to those that are around me, then what they experience from me isn't me, but is the mystery of Jesus, which is Christ in me. My friends, we need to know how to answer everyone, not because we need to make ourselves look good, but because we need to let God's good flow through us. And so as you prepare yourselves for Thanksgiving, as you gather with family members, instead of trying to shout down the uncle who has the really bad opinions, I'm using that as a cliche, you know your own family situation, take the time to listen, deeply listen to those folks that you might not have been listening to. And maybe, just maybe, God will use that experience to reveal something mysteriously holy on your Thanksgiving Day. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily devotion.